play World of Warcraft with.
That's about to be 6, by the way.
What?
That's about to be 6, by the way.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Because I technically now have a character on your server, so there you go.
Which is super exciting. What was I about to say? Crap. Oh, anyway, so I'm always constantly playing with friends in a group, and we, like, and it's just, like, one, it's just easier because waiting in a queue doesn't take as long, and you know, like, everybody's play styles fairly well.
Yep.
And so you don't have to worry about, like, I can't play this hero because some asshole doesn't like Hanzo or doesn't like Widowmaker or whatever.
Yeah.
Like one of my buddies, Punk, that's what we call him. Like, he plays Hanzo all the time, and he's like a super good Hanzo. Hell, even if I was just pugging along with about like 5 random people, I really don't give a crap if you play Hanzo or not. Like, play whatever is fun for you and just have a good time.
Yeah.
Of course, if people are purposely just throwing matches and making it difficult to make the game fun, yeah, that's where I start getting annoyed.
I think they're more talking along the lines of the harassment angle of it. You know, like, I don't get to play Overwatch that much, but so I can't necessarily vouch for this toxic behavior, but I can't help but wonder if some of that is also the fact that, you know, it's an online game, and so there's going to be harassment, at least to some extent.
Yeah.
I hate to use this example, but there's going to be the 12-year-old boy element, and they're going to be a bigger problem. So, but for the most part, I think that the way that Blizzard's handled it has been more than enough. You know, like, you can report them, and then eventually, you know, the situation can get reviewed quite quickly by Blizzard. The only thing that I will agree with Romney on is that, unfortunately, no company, I'm going to, because it's not just Blizzard that has this problem, no online company has any kind of, like, redemption kind of system, like being able to prove that you didn't do that. And we do also now have a big problem where if people just don't like you, they will just spam report you. So at that point, Blizzard has to act, and they have to ban your account, even though you probably didn't do anything aside from get a player of the game in an Overwatch round, and nobody's happy that you did, kind of thing. And that's stupid. Bottom line.
To answer your question, though, how do I feel about Blizzard, particularly the Overwatch team playing Big Brother? I feel like that is pretty extreme.
Yeah.
I don't think that. I feel like that's one thing, like one more thing that they're adding to their plates that they don't have to do. And it's not like I'm saying Jeff is watching Twitch all day long or YouTube all day long looking for toxicity in Overwatch. That's not what I'm saying. And I hardly doubt any executive is actually going to do that. They have bigger things to do.
They do. It's just, it's not them that's doing it. It's more like their server admins that are doing it.
Ultimately, I feel that it is a bit extreme. It's kind of, it's what you just said. It's widely known that it's happening. There is already a system in place that is, in my opinion, working fairly well. It's just I don't encounter it as much as I guess other people do because I play with friends. Yeah. So if somebody on the other team is going to be toxic towards us, one, I play with my husband, who has my back like all the time. Yeah. In fact, there was one time where we were not in a full group, so it was me, my husband, my brother-in-law, his online girlfriend, 4 of us, and then I think it was Punk or somebody else. So it's just like the 5 of us, and then somebody who solo queued. And I mean, I'm a pretty decent Moira. Like, I have finally found like my true actual main, somebody who like I've bought sprays for, I bought a legendary skin, like etc., because my skills match all the little goodies that I've now attached to Moira. so I can actually like stand my own. But it doesn't mean that I'm not like, it doesn't mean that I'm gonna make that I'm not gonna make mistakes. No, I've definitely had games where I'm like, oh, I really should have not done that. I should have done this instead. And I can always improve my Moira gameplay because I definitely don't heal as much as I should. I'll be completely honest. But the person that we were plugging along with, it wasn't like we were doing fine. Like we were winning, in fact.
Yeah.
We were beating the team so much, and he was like giving me crap. And I don't even pay attention to the chat, so I didn't even know. And
neither do I, honestly. Like when I'm playing a game like that, I just don't care.
And I don't really have time to like.
I think the only time if I ever noticed online harassment, it would be like I was in voice chat with them for some weird reason.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, anyway, I guess everybody was reacting to what Nathan was saying and laughing, and I was like, "What are y'all laughing about?" And they're like, "Are you not reading what Nathan's writing in the chat?" And so I was taking a look after the game was over because I was like, well, I'm in a support role, so it's not like I can really stop here and just read the chat. But I guess this guy was giving me shit, and Nathan like totally just crushed him into the ground, and it was amazing. Oh my gosh, it was absolutely amazing. And the guy totally didn't like play with us after that, just because just because Nathan's toxicity was beating out his. And Nathan will be honest, he admits to being toxic. But it's all in good fun, and he's a good player, so it's not like anybody can truly report him for a lot of the things that he says and does, not that they even try to begin with, just because he's so quick in arguments. I can't even win an argument against him. I don't even try anymore.
Well,
but
you're not going to win an argument against somebody who's just looking to harass you. The way to win the argument is to not engage, kind of thing.
Yeah, so ultimately in the end, I feel like Blizzard being Big Brother is a little extreme. I personally don't, like, I play with friends, so I don't really see the harassment going on in my own time, but I do know that it exists. I do keep myself updated on like toxicity news.
But I think you and me both kind of agree that like you need to outline. You need to. Well,
what is toxic behavior?
Toxic behavior?
Oh yeah, when you said that they didn't like actually give a proper definition for what they call toxic behavior, like I just started laughing because I mean, like, I work with behavior, and one of the biggest things in my field is to have a behavioral definition, which means that you write, like, you describe what the behavior is in an objective manner.
Yeah, so what you're basically saying, like what Jeff basically did, at least as far as you're concerned, is he just wrote a blank check for it. So at that point, like, look, I'm a Blizzard fan. I have talked ill of Blizzard in the past, okay? And I will continue to do so. What this blank check basically says is, if they don't like what I said, they can ban me outright.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that would be ridiculous.
They haven't given... Essentially, they're setting up the community for failure because they have not described what is toxic behavior. What is it that we are supposed to be looking for? They know what they're looking for, but they're not giving us the tools to know what to look out for, so that we know how to properly report toxic behavior.
And another thing that doesn't help is that, like, later on, I think it was the Overwatch Twitter actually put this out, going, go look at our community guidelines, and you'll basically know what we expect from you guys as a community. Okay, that's great and all, but if you're gonna do a video thing where you're talking about it, you need to outline that in the video.
Yeah, because
there are people who don't read the EULA as dedicated as others.
No, like, absolutely. So that was a really, 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 really big fail that they did not have that information ready and present. Because I mean, I will probably go seek out that information and take a look at what the community, expectations are. But no 12-year-old is gonna go read and check out what the community expectations are. They just want to get in and play Overwatch.
Crap, I actually have a feeling I have to go into the Lost Woods. And for some reason, I just keep on getting lost in there, so I was hoping I could avoid that. What else do we have here? Oh, ooh, could this work? Oh, actually, we could do this now. So you remember the blue ones we could do with Nero?
Yeah.
These red ones are for Dante.
Oh my gosh.
So now we can actually wreck this guy and get... I can't remember what these actually give as a reward, but there we go.
But I do absolutely agree with Blizzard, and for a good portion of the community, that the toxicity in the game is really, really, really bad. One person that comes to mind is an actual pro player for the Dallas Fuel, XQC.
I'd heard something about an Overwatch League player who was creating some of that problem, but I think they resulted, didn't they? Didn't they ban him off the team or something like that?
So, so here's the thing. Some of his, so I'll talk about. So let me tell you about some of the stuff that he has done pre-Overwatch League, and then what he did during the first stage of the competition. So this was caught while he was streaming on Twitch, but essentially, this pro player, whom I feel should completely lose his status as a pro player, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But this pro player, during ranked matches in Overwatch, if somebody whom he had solo queued with picked a hero that he did not like, then he would report that player for picking that hero.
So just because, like, let's just say for the sake of argument, he doesn't like Genji, and somebody comes into his game as Genji, he'd report them for being Genji?
Yes.
Well, that's bullshit.
He would particularly do this for people who picked Symmetra. And during this stream.
Yeah, to me that's stupid because I don't like Roadhog, and I don't what's the Junkrat? I hate them, and they're like in every game that I've ever played. I'm not gonna ban them outright because they love Junkrat.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's childish what he's doing, and he's been suspended several times for what he's done, like several times for what he's done, and he keeps doing it. And he just doesn't care. So now let's fast forward, and here he is playing in the first couple weeks of Stage 1 in the Overwatch League.
Okay.
The Houston Outlaws and the Dallas Fuel had a match, and of course that's going to probably be like a big rivalry because it's two Texas teams.
Okay.
And one of the tank players on the Houston Outlaws is an openly gay player.
Okay.
And so
this is not a good setup, Brinton.
Yeah. So what this XQC guy does after the match, because they lost.
Okay.
Actually, Dallas Fuel is a really, really bad team. I feel really bad for Siegel because he deserves to be on a much better team than Dallas Fuel. Because I've seen his gameplay, and he totally does not deserve to be on a team like Dallas Fuel. Okay. That's besides the point. Anyway, this dude, he gets on Twitter and he makes very homophobic comments to this Houston Outlaw tank player. His name is Muma. And so not only did he get fined several $1,000s, but he got banned from playing any games for the rest of Stage 1.
Okay.
So he'll probably be back playing next week because Stage 2, the competition starts next week. But he got banned right out because the Overwatch League was just like, we're not going to tolerate this. This is inappropriate, and this is not befitting of a professional esport player.
And especially when you consider that this is the first one, the first season of the Overwatch League, right?
Yeah, the inaugural
So at this point, image is everything.
Absolutely.
Especially since, as much as we all hate to admit it, like, esports is not on the radar just yet. Like, you still have major, like, people will still not acknowledge esports because, well, if ESPN doesn't cover it, then I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So if you don't have mainstream coverage, then that really hurts it. And Twitch is not mainstream coverage. I'm sorry to say that, everybody. I know that there's a lot of Twitch fans that follow this, and you know, that's hard to say, but it just doesn't have the big coverage that, say, like ESPN does. And so for that first year, Image is everything. Because that's what Blizzard's trying to do. We're trying to get like we're trying to get ESPN to cover esports now. So you're having like these big corporate backings and all that. So Image is everything. And if you're going to bring on an asshole who, it sounds to me like this guy's just a 100% sore loser.
No, absolutely.
So at that point,
this Muma guy, he had like,
him.
well, like this Muma guy, he was a really, really good sport about it. And like, he's like any gay guy who I feel takes on homophobic comments with grace. He doesn't like come back at him. He's just like, whatever. Like, how about you bring it to the fields of Overwatch instead of the internet?
Yeah.
Let's be adults here. But no, he got banned, which for the rest of the first stage of the competition, which I was really, really happy about. But honestly, I feel like that he should have just been kicked. He should have been kicked off the Dallas Fuel. Had his contract up for sale. Who wants to take him? Because Dallas, we don't want him anymore. We're not going to tolerate this.
I don't know. See, I'm kind of against the whole banning him outright because look, he's an asshole, but he has a right to be an asshole, kind of thing. But I do think that the companies backing the Dallas Fuel need to seriously, like next season, reconsider that contract. Reconsider it completely, because then at that point, like, because this doesn't necessarily hurt it hurts the Overwatch League, don't get me wrong, but it hurts the team more than the Overwatch League themselves.
And the thing that sucks is that I can't deny it, he's a good player. Like, he's a really good player. So yeah, it really hurt the Dallas Fuel because he was one of their like front men, the go-to, we're gonna have you in every game, just like really, really, really good player. So it's like you just shot yourself in the foot, and you
really
pretty much
did.
shot the feet of your teammates.
Yeah, because not only did you make yourself look like an ass, but you made the team look like an ass for having you on the dang team. That's just the bottom line of it.
Absolutely.
Let's see. I'm gonna actually get this purple orb to extend my double trigger, and we're gonna get another one to extend my double trigger, because now that I have Dante, double trigger's a thing.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So we're actually coming up on our first Hellgate.
There it
here
is.
It is. So this is the one with the plant chick.
It's just like, hey, I'm back.
I'm just planting my seeds, Ooh, let's play some soccer. Necessary! Hey, what?
Lol.
Who the hell are you?
I'd react that
Glad
way
I got
too.
your attention. I was beginning to feel a little ignored.
You might jest, but the kindest fate I offer is to unify and spend eternity with a child of mine.
Well, that's the end of Dante.
Lol, his leg is just sticking out.
It's like Jurassic Park, man. Oh, hi, Dante.
As appealing as that sounds, I think I'll pass.
Seriously?
Though a fight every now and then does make life a little more interesting, don't you think?
I love you, Dante. Okay, so first boss fight that we deal with Dante.
I really like this idea of refighting all the bosses, but as Dante. This is really, really cool.
Well, because Dante has a completely different style to him. So
yeah,
he's not going to approach a fight the same way as everybody else is. Oh, dang it, I really need to stop doing that. Oh, jeez.
As you do it again.
Yes, as I do it again. That's my problem.
Don't worry, I make this.
Okay, now I have double trigger back up. All right. No, I now need to kill your butt crack again. Lol. Oh, dang it. Oh, can that be why? I was trying to do an air combo and it's not necessarily working for me. Oh well.
Don't swing your hair around and whip me. Rude.
Well, that's kind of her shtick, so.
Still rude.
Oh, there we go.